Trailcast Trivia. You ready?
Nope.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Alright.
Copyright.
Alright. Without further ado, let's do further and jump right in.
Yabba dabba doo.
Alright. Question number 1. When was Solo, a Star Wars story, originally released in theaters? Was it A, May the 4th, 2018, B, May 20th, 2018, C, May 25th, 2018, or D, June 1st, 2018?
Alrighty, like always, for those who are playing along, pause it after the question and answers are or questions and options are given. There we go. And I'll give you some time to pause it if you want to play along.
So, Wesley, do these
Without
answers look familiar to you?
Yeah. Um, I think, remember hearing that it came out the same day, calendar-wise as A New Hope. Now I'm trying to remember what that date was. I think I'm gonna go with the 25th because I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the 25th. Um, like I said, I'm not feeling confident about this. It is what it is. 25th, May 25th, 2018 is my answer.
That is correct.
Thought so. I was at least 50% right. 50% right. I was at least 50% sure. I'm 100% right.
Yeah.
Go to the next one, David. Go to the next one. Nobody likes you. Go ahead.
All right. When is Solo, a Star Wars story, set in the Star Wars timeline? Is it A, approximately 5 BBY, B, approximately 10 BBY, C, approximately 16 BBY, or D, approximately 32 BBY?
So I'm kind of lucky on this one. I had a guess, but this was before I even opened or looked at the what the Trailcast review was going to be. But I had recently, while Katie was in here talking to us, I opened up the YouTube Studios and was looking at some of the stuff on there, and I saw that today's answer or question was, and so I saw what that was. So I do have an answer for this. My answer is 10 BPY, which is what I originally thought it was, anyways. But now I know it's around 10 BPY, or at least that's what everyone answered. I might have just misread it, but that's what I'm going with.
That is correct. And well,
Good.
I said
Y'all
approximately.
didn't let me down.
I said approximately 10 BBY because obviously they don't say in the movie, and there's not really a canon source that has a specific. But this is the, when or time frame wise when it's set, because with Maul and everything, because Rebels set 5 BBY, 5 BBY or 4 BBY, because Ezra's 15.
Somewhere in there.
Ezra's 15. He was born on Empire Day, so yeah. But yeah, given all that, around 10 BBY. All right. Question number 3.
Here's the bumpy part.
How many directors worked on Solo, a Star Wars story? Was it A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 8?
I know it was a lot. At least more than one. Which is more than you want. I know there's apparently a rotating door. Uh, so I know there's an original director they brought on, and then Ron Howard was obviously the last person that they chose, and he ended up directing the movie. I have a feeling it's more than two, so I'm gonna go with B3. But like always, I'm not very confident in this. So, B3, final answer. Did I hit a ship?
You're somehow good at stumbling into success because that is correct.
I
There were three directors who originally worked on Solo, a Star Wars story. So originally it was actually a directing team. It was two directors who were working on the project. They got fired, and then they brought Ron Howard on.
I was actually listening to something earlier today, and that's why I was in my mind thinking that there was like, because there's, the two of them were doing it, but they only got rid of director once, and then they brought in Ron Howard. So I was like, I had to have missed something though, which is why I went with three. Um, but I would have gone with two if I got my, because they only got rid of, it was a set of directors. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah, cool.
All right,
I'm good at this.
you're 3 and
Uh,
0.
uh, B3 sunk a ship.
Yep, you're 3 and 0. All right. Question number 4. In Solo, what is the name of the planet where Han is serving as an Imperial infantryman and meets Tobias Beckett? Is it A. Mimban, B. Corellia, C. Dantooine, or D. Ryloth?
Um, I know what Corellia is. I know what Dantooine is. I don't know what Mimbran, however you pronounce that. A is. I don't know what A is, but I'm pretty sure it's Ryloth. Maybe that doesn't sound right. I'm gonna go with Ryloth and not think too hard. Think through thought. I'm not gonna think too hard about that. And yeah, we're just gonna go with it. Yeah, Ryloth. Final answer.
That is incorrect.
Hmm.
The correct answer was A. Mimban.
Hmm. Ryloth is the
Twi'lek
which one's
Homeworld.
that one? That's the colorful one that what's her name gets shot on
No,
in
no,
the
no.
movies.
That's Felucia.
Felucia, that's what I was thinking of. I don't remember what Ryloth is.
Ryloth is the
It's probably
Twi'lek Homeworld.
yeah, it doesn't help. I'm thinking of like I want to visualize what it looks like, but it's probably
There's a
somewhere in Clone Wars.
huge arc in the Clone Wars with Ryloth.
Yeah, last time I watched the Clone Wars. Anyways,
All right.
3-1.
Question number 5. What kind of blaster is Han Solo's blaster? Is it A DC-17, B an 8 or an A280, C a DL-44, or D an A40 or an A440? Letters and numbers are confusing me. Too many letters and numbers. But yeah,
I have no shot in the world of knowing what this is. I'm just trying to think if I can dig through my Star Wars knowledge and like envision a uh I learn through sight. So like when I'm trying to recall things, I have to see it in my mind. And so I'm trying to dig through like everything Star Wars related that I've ever seen and see if I can think of like an encyclopedia book where it has Han Solo and he's holding the gun and it has a thing that points to the gun and it says what it is. I can't think of anything. Uh, both DC-17 and DL-44 stand out because of the D. That's literally the only reason. Uh, so I don't really have specific. I don't really know. So I don't even know how to guess. We found out last week. I think it was last week that Mo does not help because it's going to be the same one every time. So that's annoying. So I don't really know how to choose this. Mo would tell me D. I don't really like D. Direct current 17. Driver's license 44. This is tough. I mean, it's just another question. I like I said, I'm not too confident in getting any of these right, so 50% may not be in the cards this week. Uh, Split the middle. We're gonna go with A 280 because I don't care.
So let me get this straight. So you have two that you think are right. So because you can't decide between them, you choose one of the ones that you don't think is right.
That doesn't mean it's not right. That just means that I don't personally think it's right. I don't know what this is, David. I don't have a clue.
Okay, but B is incorrect.
Okay.
The correct
Which one is
answer
it?
was C, DL44.
Yeah. Oh well.
Should have gone with your gut.
Should have gone with my gut because that was the one I was more so leaning towards. But that doesn't matter. I'm 3-2 now.
Yep. Oh,
It just looked like DC 17 looked like you made it up. So you know,
yeah.
but they all look like you made them up. So, anyways.
Well, someone made all of them up, but
Mm.
all right. Question number 6. In Solo: A Star Wars Story, what is the name of the shipbuilding planet where Han grew up and tries to escape from? Is it A, Corellia, B, Bracca, C, Dantooine, or D, Severine?
Boom, boom, ba-da-dum, boom. Aurelia. Final answer. Not much deliberation on that.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, I mentioned that earlier, so but yeah, that's correct. Uh,
It's a key part of the movie, so.
yeah, yeah. So you are now 4-2.
Ooh, haha. Yeah. Keep going.
All right. Question number 7. Ron Howard directed Solo, but which movie did George Lucas want him to direct? Is it A, The Phantom Menace, B, Attack of the Clones, C, Revenge of the Sith, or D, The Force Awakens?
So when I first was looking down, I read that question, but I didn't look through all the answers, and I was like, um, unsure because I should know what it is. Um, but I was thinking, if there's certain movies in there, I might get thrown off. But anyways, the my answer is going to be a Phantom Menace. Um, yeah, I'll speak more after I find out what the answer is.
That is correct. It is A, The Phantom Menace.
See, I thought so. So I heard something earlier. I just didn't remember if I remembered it right. But anyways, yeah. So he turned it down because he thought it was too big of a thing for him to do. But then he ended up doing Solo. So
Mm. Yeah,
maybe he just didn't like George Lucas.
yeah, maybe. So you're 5-2. All
So
right.
far,
Question number 8. The aim of sabacc is to get a value closest to which number? Is it A, 21, B, -75, C, the square root of 2, or D, 23 or -23?
so I only have one tiny little bit of evidence for this because I don't know what how the game of Sabacc is played. I've never looked up the rules before, anything like that. But I remember at one point in the game, he says something about he has -2 or something like that. So I don't really know. but none of these are close to the -2. So I'm gonna go with the square root of 2, and also since it's the most off the wall one, uh, and I don't have a hope in it's like the gun one. I don't really have a hope in the world. So I'm not splitting the difference. I have one answer. I'm gonna go with it. It's okay. Final answer: square root of 2.
That is incorrect. The correct answer was D, 23 or negative 23.
Hmm.
So it's just blackjack, but they added negative numbers and added 2 to the number where you bust. Actually, I don't even know if you can bust in Sabacc, but
Yeah, see, that was another thing is I know, like, Blackjack 21, so I was like, I don't think it's a direct parallel. So that one was obviously out. 71 was too high, and I don't know. I
no.
didn't think too much about the 23. So, moving on.
All right. I marked the wrong one on this next one as the answer, but I know what the answer is in this next one. Okay, so
Same.
okay. What movie does Han make a reference to when making their escape from the TIE fighters after leaving Kessel? Is it A, The Avengers, B, Jaws, C, Back to the Future, or D, Rogue One?
It's really neat that he mentions this. Well, at least there's a reference to this one movie. Um, Hopefully, this is the one you're talking about. It should be because this is the only thing that I ever found in any research. Um, but he makes a reference to his friend Needles, who dies in the crash doing the same maneuver. So that would mean that the movie he is referring to is Back to the Future, or the Back to the Future franchise. So that's what I'm going with. Hopefully, that's what you're getting at. If not, then screw me. I have some other bit of tidbit knowledge that does not help me in this case. Back to the Future. Final answer.
That is correct. I think it's kind of funny how this movie's pulling everything together we've been talking about for the past couple weeks. It's a Back to the Future reference. We have Woody Harrelson, and it's a Star Wars
Mm-hmm.
movie. You know.
Yeah, when I was first watching that, and I heard, I was like Needles. I was like, that's gotta be a Back to the Future reference. I was like, it just has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Doing something stupid, like gotta be Needles. But yeah, that was a fun one.
All
Okay.
right. So what do you got? You're at 6-3 now.
Yeah, because I missed the Sabak one, so that
Yep.
would have brought me up from 2 to 3. So yeah,
Yeah. 6-3. All right. Question number 10. Who plays Rio Durant? If you don't know, that's the four-armed pilot. And,
okay, yeah.
friend of Tobias Beckett. Yeah.
I didn't know, but I know who's in this movie, and I
All
would have
right.
had a
So is
good.
it A, Woody Harrelson, B, Dave Filoni, C, Sam Witwer, or D, Jon Favreau?
The four-armed pilot ant associated with Beckett.
I don't know where that
The
came from,
four
but
what's their ant? The four-armed
oh,
pilot
I think that's
and
supposed to be
associate
yeah. I
with
think that's
Beckett.
supposed to be and yeah.
Okay.
I don't yeah.
Yeah, I did not know this, but looking back on it, it actually makes sense. Well, I didn't know this until more recent. Looking back on it, you can kind of hear it. Jon Favreau plays the four-armed, whatever the species is called, the pilot. So that's my answer, Jon Favreau.
That is correct. I don't know why they just didn't get him to direct it.
That's true. I mean, like I said, Ron Howard didn't do a bad job, but yeah, Jon Favreau would have. Do you think he would have done better? Do you think he would have done good still? I mean, it's coming
Okay,
off the
well,
heels of Last Jedi.
okay. Also, if they had hired him, to replace the original directors, he would have still been inheriting a mess.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Jon Favreau had it from the beginning, it would have been a lot better. But I also think if Ron Howard had it from the beginning, it would have been a lot better.
Well, I also wonder, there's apparently something in the writers, directors, or one of those guilds out there that someone involved in the project cannot become the director if they fire the director, so as to not kind of like do things. So I wonder if he was originally going to be this character from the beginning, which would have mean
That
he
might
was tied to the project.
that might have been it. Yeah.
So actually, that might. I need to re-listen to some of the stuff that I was listening to earlier today because I didn't pick up everything that they were talking about.
Hmm.
That might have been one of the things that they mentioned is that Jon Favreau didn't do it because he was already tied to the project. But
Yeah,
not speaking as fact. I don't know that for a fact, but that could have been what it is.
yeah. Well, you're 7-3.
I'm doing better. Your trivia is not as hard as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, this next one you're gonna get right too because you already mentioned this. But question number 11: how old is Chewbacca in Solo: A Star Wars Story? Is he A 30, B 160, C 190, or D 210?
Oh, you're done talking. Sorry. Zoned out there for a second. Uh, 190 years old is my final answer. Take it or leave it. That's all I'm giving you.
I mean, obviously that's correct because you already mentioned that earlier in the podcast. So
Don't you hate it when I mention things in the podcast and it's already on Trailcast Trivia and you're like, man, I can't get them on that one. Especially
yeah,
when it's something like this isn't nitpicky, but if I mention something that's a little nitpicky, don't you just hate that?
yeah, you've done that before.
I know I love doing that. See,
Hmm.
that shows that I do some research for these
Hmm.
podcasts. Not
But
much,
yes,
but some.
yes, that is correct. And do you know what that means, Wesley?
Yeah.
You are 8-3.
Oh, cool. I'm pretty much gonna get the rest of these right too. Okay, there's gonna be one that I'm not gonna get right, and maybe one that I might miss because I'm a little cocky. But I'm gonna get my 50 over 50%. Look at that. Look at
Hmm.
me go, David. Ask the next question.
Question number 12. The Crimson Dawn is one of 5 major crime syndicates. Which of the following is not one of them? A. Black Sun. B. The Pike Syndicate. C. The Droid Collective. Or D. The Hutt Clan.
I'm not gonna lie. You know that's too easy.
Yeah, I shouldn't have put both the Pikes and the Hutts in there.
Yeah. The Droid Collective
Yeah.
is not a real. Nah, not now. I don't know. Was it ever a real thing? I don't think it is. I feel like this is something you made up. But
Yeah, I mean that's right. I feel like that one's kind of an obvious thing that I made up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Listen, I don't remember there ever being anything like that Star Wars. I could be
yeah.
wrong, but yeah.
So you're 9-3.
This next one, I do want to mention. I was surprised to find out. I remember watching it in the movie. I was surprised though, because yeah, we'll get to it. But go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and ask the next question.
Yeah, so they do mention this in the movie, and actually, that when I was some of these I wrote while I was watching the movie. This was one of them.
Mm.
Question number
I what? Go ahead. Go ahead.
question number 13. What bounty hunter did Tobias Beckett kill? Is it A. Aurora Singh, B. Imbo, C. 4 LOM, or D. Jas Emari?
So I thought you said bimbo, not imbo. So, anyways, uh, yeah, no, I was surprised to hear. So what actually happened was uh the everyone's listening to you. Like your phone's a listening device, the government's listening to you, business is listening to you. Because I saw this on Instagram. I saw a meme on Instagram, and it was this scene. I guess it's not a meme, but it was a clip of this scene. It wasn't a video. It was just the words, and it said that he didn't kill Aurora Singh. The fall killed her. He just pushed her. Okay, but my final answer is A.
Yes,
A horror thing. What's her name? I know
Aura.
Sing's the last
Aura
a
Singh.
horror. Yeah.
There's no H.
Anyways,
Aura Singh. Anyway, yes, that's correct. Um, like I said, I was watching the movie and I wrote some of these because I was listening for key details like that and I'm like, oh yeah, that's an interesting one. I
mhm.
had to put that in there. But yeah, yeah.
I'm honestly surprised. Like I know she's not that big of a character. Like she's more in the Clone Wars, but that's kind of interesting to hear someone of that level die like like that. That's something
Mm,
that was interesting that I never really picked up on
yeah,
until this past time.
yeah. All right. As next one, well, I'm not gonna say that, but question number
Mhm.
14. What movie inspired the speeder chase at the beginning of Solo, a Star Wars story? Was it A. Fast and Furious, B. Need for Speed, C. Drive, or D. American Graffiti?
So I think I know this one. I think. Um, I I believe it's American Graffiti, which I think, excuse me, is another movie that Ron Howard had somewhat of a hand in. Because I believe that there was something with that, and that was the first time he worked with Harrison Ford. Not entirely sure about that, but I'm still going to stick with the answer that it's American Graffiti. Behind the scenes stuff are not part of this question, so it doesn't matter. But anyways, American Graffiti is my final answer.
That is correct. But the reason for it is actually because it was the movie that George Lucas directed before he directed Star Wars. And his success in American Graffiti is one of the main reasons that he was able to make Star Wars.
Hmm. Yeah. What does that
And
leave me at, David?
uh 11 and 3.
11-3? Yeah, I was about to say, I think I only missed three. All righty. Let's make it 11-4. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Question number 15. How many cards are in a Sabacc deck? Is it A 52, B 60, C 76, or D 100?
Yeah, I don't even know how many cards are in a normal deck. I'm not a big card player, so I really don't know.
Well,
Um
that number's on there too, so
uh probably the 76 or the 60 or the 52 or maybe the 100. One of those. Una mana mina mana muna mana mina mana muna mana mina mana what a thing. I don't know. 76. Take it or leave it. I don't care.
is that your final answer?
Sure. Let's go ahead and get this over with.
Well, that's actually correct. There are 76 cards in
Is
a
it 52
Sabacc
is in a normal
deck.
deck?
Yes.
Okay. That was the
Yes.
other number that stood out.
Yes. So, apparently in a Sabacc deck, there are 60 normal cards that are split between the four suits, and then there are 16 like specialty cards or whatever. I didn't have time to read up on the full rules of Sabacc, but
Oh, we're gonna play it someday.
sure.
Okay.
But
Let me clean you out.
that was an interesting rabbit hole. But yeah, because
Okay.
it seems like it's a cross between like 5 card draw and blackjack.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah.
We'll have to look up the rules and we'll have to actually play it someday. I'm sure you can go out and get a Sabak deck. Like
Oh,
that's just got to be.
I'm sure
That's got to be
someone has made a Sabacc deck at some point.
100%. It's got to be an actual game that you can play because why wouldn't it be? Why
Yeah.
wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
All right, David. Well, I ended that off. What was it? 12-3.
12
That's
and
like
3.
the best I've ever. That's the best I've ever done, I think.
I think that is the best you've ever done.
And hey, I need to come up with less confidence more often. I did pretty good.
Yeah. I think that is the
I
best
also
you've
feel
ever
like
done, so.
I also feel like this one, I wasn't entirely sure what questions you were going to ask. Like, if you were going to do a broad, like, Han Solo trivia, or if you're going to do solely on this movie. Because, in all honesty, there's not a whole lot to this movie that is trivial, you know?
No,
Like,
there's not.
deep cuts. There's not that much to it. Like, most of these, the ones that I didn't know, I should have known.
Well, maybe not the Sabacc questions, but
The Sabak, yeah, okay. That's the planet one. I really should have known. That one's on me. Yeah, the Sabak one, I probably wouldn't have known. I don't think I came across that in any of my research. I probably should have looked up more Sabak stuff. But yeah,
The
that
the
that
blaster one too is kind of a nitty gritty
yeah.
thing, but yeah.
So then I wait. That means I might have missed. Oh no, I didn't miss this last Sabak one. So yeah, never mind. Those are the three ones. Yeah, yeah. That is a little more nitty gritty that I didn't have much chance to know. But yeah, that actually didn't go too bad. So.